What is good, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new video. If you don't know me, I'm Attach, a professional Call of Duty player and world champion for Cloud9, and we just started scrimming versus other professional players and teams recently, and there's been so many new movements we found, and I'm here to share everything I know with you guys. So we're going to talk about like slide canceling, the basics, how you should be doing it, when you should be doing it, and also like stuff like the backward slide, or you slide aim in and you like lay down so your feet are like this in front of you. All this stuff, we're going to cover so much of what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. Let's get right into it. And before we get into all the different movements you should be doing, we have to talk about the controller settings, because this is how you do the movements, how you control the movement and stuff. So we're going to break it all down. I'm not going to take too much time doing this, but if you do want to go skip and see all the different movements and how to do them, I will have the timestamps down below so you can skip to whichever movement you want to see. Let's get started though. I play on default flipped. That means I shoot with my L1 and R1. And then let's go down here to control vibration. I personally play with it off. Dead zone inputs. So make sure you have your left stick min on 0, your right stick min. There's a test you could do in the firing range or anywhere. You could just have your gun, put it all the way to 0, have your gun stand still. If it moves, up at 1. If it still moves, up at 2. If it stops moving at 3, keep it at 3. And that's just like a test you want to do. With the left stick max, you can actually lower this if you want it. It's all personal preference to where you don't like right now, since it's all the maximum, my circle's on the far outside. I have to go all the way out there for my controller to actually pick up my movement. So you could change that and it might be better for you. Personally, I'm just used to it. Maybe I'll experiment with it later, but for now I'm gonna keep it at that. Left trigger and right trigger dead zone inputs you want at 0, so you're not wasting any time pulling the trigger. It's automatically shooting right when you pull the trigger. There's no delay. Now let's go down to aiming. I just play on dynamic movement. Sprint assist, you want your sprint assist on. Well, there's two things, let me break it down. So on, it won't be the fastest sprint assist, but with tactical sprint assist, which is also known as automatic tactical sprint in past games, if you have that on, you will be running with your gun up like this, which can sometimes mess you up in gunfights if your gun's always like up like this instead of just you sprint once and it's ready. So I would probably prefer you play on sprint assist, which is on, but then you're gonna hit right with your right analog stick to the right. You're gonna go here and you're gonna look at all these. I would say single tap run is, I like single tap run, single tap or single tap sprint. Single tap run is also good as well. You cannot go wrong with either one of these, but let's just start simple, single tap run, because when you use single tap run and single tap sprint, you get the most momentum possible right when you start sprinting. You just hit it once, you start sprinting, and you're moving as fast as you can. So very important for movement and having good movement. And then this one, the slide, or make sure you turn corner slice off. This is in my last video if you want to check it out, the reason why. But slide / dive behavior, this is hybrid got introduced last game in MW3, and it's been pretty crazy ever since. So you tap only to slide and tap while holding sprint input to dive. So you kind of have to like mess with the combos and get used to it. It took me some time to get used to. It takes everyone time to get used to. So I do recommend using it, but it is more advanced and it will take time and practice, because sometimes you're going to dive when you don't want to. Sometimes you're going to slide cancel when you mean to dive. Like it takes some time, but I will break it down real quick of how you should be using hybrid. With hybrid, you push your sprint button, and if you hold onto your left analog stick and you're pushing it down and then you hit your slide, you're gonna dive. But if you just are sprinting to start and then you stop holding it, you're gonna slide. So it's this left analog, you hold it down, dive, you just push it, slide, hold it, dive, push it, you're just sliding. So that is the basics you do with hybrid. That is on default controls, of course, but that's what hybrid is good for. It allows you to hit all movements, all slide cancels you can do. Every movement is possible with hybrid. If you don't use hybrid, you're limiting yourself. But like I said, it is a very advanced setting, so give yourself some time and don't think you're gonna master it in a day, because it took me probably a couple weeks to really feel like I got it 100%. I'm sure most of you know what a slide canceling is and how to do it, but I need to break it down still, just because this is the foundation, the fundamentals of how you're going to do all these movements is pretty much with the slide cancel. So with slide canceling for me is sprint, jump, or sprint, slide, jump. You want to sprint, then you slide, then you jump to cancel the movement. So you just want to make sure you get that. It's very simple: sprint, slide, jump, and it stops. If you just sprint and slide, you're going to keep on going and sliding. But if you sprint and slide then jump, you will stop, and that's a good way to take gunfights and enter into certain places where you know the enemies will be. And now it's time to get into the fun stuff, the sprint, slide, aim in. This is how you do it when you go into a room or you enter anywhere on the map where you know the enemies are going to be, because you can slide cancel and not be aimed in. It's still not that bad, but you can only do that and get kills close range with your hip fire. But if you actually slide, sprint, aim in, then jump, you will actually be aimed in and ready. So if I know someone's coming out of this doorway, I'm gonna sprint, slide, aim in, jump. I'm ready for the gunfight. It's very easy. Sprint, slide, aim in, jump. That's how you slide cancel it properly when having your gun up. And you pretty much want to do this every single time. Like, you just want to have your gun ready. So build that habit. Sprint, slide, aim and jump. 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 And that's how you cancel the slide perfectly. But in this game with Omnimovement is amazing so far. If you're sprinting, you could slide sideways. You could go sideways and aim in. You could slide backwards as well. So there's a lot of things you can do. It's not just a straightforward slide cancel anymore like it used to be. Now there's so many different directions you can go. You can go to the right and go backwards, or I could go backwards and aim in. So there's so many ways to get creative with it, and you just have to take advantage. It's going to take some practice and some time. You're going to mess up a couple times, but the quicker you do practice and get it, the more smooth your movement's going to be, and the way like just leaky you're going to look. It's going to look so clean when you hit these movements. You get a kill, you're going to be like, you're gonna feel good about yourself. And this next movement is crazy. I don't know why they made it like this, but you go so far with the slide. All you do is run, jump, aim in, and slide. And look how far I go, or just you slide across the whole pool. It feels like run, aim in, jump, slide. And you're just flying. Run, aim in, jump, slide. Okay, oops, I'm going for a swim now. But you kind of get the gist of it. Run, aim in, jump, slide. Or run, jump, aim in, slide. I think it's run, jump, aim in, slide is probably a better way to say it. Run, jump, aim in, slide. And you just can travel so far. You're moving so quickly across the enemy screen. They're just not going to be able to keep up with you. If like you're going to be moving so fast that you're just sliding down. And especially when you have momentum, like when I go down these steps right here, let's say someone's in that bedroom right there, and I do this movement, I'm flying down these steps, snake once, I'm popping up on the heady. So it's good to mix the combinations of movements like that. But to do it, I just want to make it simple. You run, jump, aim in, slide. Run, jump, aim in, slide. Boom, easy. And you go so far with this slide as well. And now that we're talking about all the good we should be doing, there is some bad stuff to do in this game. And one of those things is jump shotting. You do not want to jump shot as much. Unfortunately, in this game, it is not very good. The reason for that being is when you run it and jump like this. Well, I didn't mean to slide. When you run and jump like this, you see how much your gun and your reticle moves. Focus on my red dot and see. Just look how much it moves. Run, jump. Look how much it's bouncing right there when I land. It throws off your centering completely. It completely messes you up in gunfights. Trust me, I've been jumping so much just because I've been doing it for years in Call of Duty, and I've lost so many gunfights in Black Ops 6 because of that. And every time I do, I'm like, I need to stop jumping. So keep the jumping to a minimum, even though I'm still going to do it sometimes. It's just a habit. You're still going to do it sometimes. It's okay. It's a habit, but try to break that habit as much as possible, because with how much your gun moves, it's nearly impossible to consistently win gunfights if you're going to be just running and jump shotting into a gunfight. Unfortunately, the jump shot is not very good in Call of Duties, but there's so many other good movements to take advantage of. Just make sure to drop the jump shot out of your bag. You do not want the jump shot in your bag in Black Ops 6. Now let's talk about corner peeking, otherwise known as shouldering. Some people even may know it as shimmying. So when you shimmy in old CODs, you go like this. You're not taking a gunfight, you just want to get information. So let's say I want to get information if someone is in this hallway or not. You just go back and forth like this. But now with Omnimovement, you can actually sprint in all directions. So instead of just going back and forth like this, you can actually start sprinting and then just be like in a sprint like this and going faster. So you're getting the information still, but you're safer. If they chow this, they're not going to be able to hit you with as many bullets because you are just moving faster on their screen with the sprint. So it's just a better way to get information on the map and know where your enemy is or when they're going to chow you, while not putting yourself as much at risk. Like, you're not going to get shot as much just because you are shimmying or shouldering, corner peeking faster. And now let's talk about when you will be using the backwards slide. So you could just backwards slide by going like this kinda and turning like that and being ready for a gunfight, but you can also literally just slide backwards. So what you want to do is you want to put with your left analog, don't hold it down, just press it once and start sprinting, hit your slide cancel and then aim in. So backwards with the analog, slide cancel, aim in. Backwards with the analog, slide cancel, aim in. Backwards with your left analog, slide cancel, aim in. So we're starting to get more advanced now. And let's say you're in a very intense gunfight up here. You're like, oh my god, one shot, I'm out. peace, and you slide down like that. Like I said, this is gonna take some time. It's not easy to do, but the more you practice it, the easier it will get. See, I just messed it up because I'm running in the walls and stuff. But you can just slide backwards like that, and it will help you get so evasive, will help you stay alive in so many situations. And if you can master this, you will be absolutely dominating people in public matches. And when rank play drops, it will be so easy for you. And that's a dive. That's a backwards dive. We're going to talk about that a little bit. You run backwards, boom, you could turn, you could dive like that, or you could just straight up backwards dive like that if you just hold it down. So there's a lot of different movements to work with, but that's just how you do a backwards slide. How does diving come into play in Call of Duty Black Ops 6? And I will tell you the best time to dive. The way I like to dive into gunfights isn't all the time. I don't like to just go like this all the time, unless, let's say I'm checking, I know someone's in this hallway and I want to bait for my teammate or distract them. I will dive across like this. They won't kill you. They might shoot the bullet, but you'll be safe. But now when I like to dive is when I have an enemy completely one shot. I just shot the enemy 4 times or 3 times. I know they're extremely hurt. Then I will dive around the corner and be pre-firing to finish off the kill. So what I will do, I will sprint, I will jump, dive, or I will sprint, jump while holding my left analog down with hybrid to actually dive and then aim in and shoot. So I'll be pre-firing like this when I know a guy's one shot, but I will not enter a gunfight if I don't know someone's there, or if I know they're there and they're not hurt. I will not enter the gunfight like that. But I will only do this if I know someone's one shot and I'm just trying to finish off the kill and dive to them quickly. Also, when you talk about diving, you could do what I just did there, and you could do the backwards dive. So you're sprinting, you hold dive, boom, then you turn around like that, and you can land on your back. So let's say I'm like, oh my god, just got into a gunfight, boom, 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 I killed the guy that was one shot. Oh my god, another guy shooting at me in the back. I'm running to the back steps, I jump dive, turn around, and I'm pre-firing behind you. So it's a really good evasive maneuver, and all you have to do is you just have to be sprinting, you hold your jump, or you jump, you turn around, aim in, and shoot. As you're just pre-firing, so you know they're gonna be behind you, you're out, boom, like that. And then if they keep on chasing, you're ready, your gun is up, and they're gonna be like sprinting like this to you, but your gun is already gonna be up, laying down right here, ready for the gunfight. That's why it's so good for an evasive maneuver, to just sprint, to just dive, turn around, and yeah, you're gonna advance your movement so much. But remember, I only like to dive into a gunfight to finish off a kill, finish off a person that's one shot, maybe even 2 shot. But other than that, I think this is a good technique for getting away, a defensive technique, not as much of an offensive technique. Also good, it's also a good way to get information safely, to just dive across, you get the information, you know where they are now. All right, now you can go make your play based off with the information you know. Drop shotting is actually back as well in this game. It's very simple. You just have to hit whatever your prone button is. For me, it's my back right paddle on my scuff. You can also use code attached. Yeah, I put the plug at the end of the video because like only the real ones are gonna know it. But all you do is you just drop, you hold your prone, you lay down, and you aim in. You aim at the same time, free fire, and be ready for a gunfight. So proning is good, but then there's also snaking. Snaking is very overpowered because you can get information based off those snakes. And one area of the map where I love to snake behind is if I know a whole bunch of people are coming here and I'm like hurt or whatever it may be, I'm just going like this. So I'm laying down and sprinting out of the lay down. What you want to do, you hold your lay down, sprint out of it. Hold your lay down, sprint out of it. So lay down, sprint out, lay down, sprint out, and I'm just getting information so quickly. The other team will not be able to kill me. They'll see me, yes, maybe get a bullet or 2 off into me, but they will not be able to kill me. I'll just do this all day, get all the information, and if I see someone walking in the deep and they haven't shot me, boom, I pop up, pre-fire. And I can see them, and they have trouble seeing me, so I'm breaking their cameras, and they're not able to see me that well. So all you do is lay down, sprint out of it, lay down, sprint out of it, and you keep on doing this. This is a very good way to get information of where the enemy team is, and you could challenge whenever you want. Whenever you feel comfortable, boom, you start challenging. You pop up, and you start shooting, and you will have the peekers advantage on them. You can actually lay sideways as well. You can lay down straight on like this, aiming in. You could lay down like this if you just hold. Oh wait, let me get it. Boom. You can lay down like this with your feet in front of you if you just hold, but you can also do it kind of like your body is like sideways like this. So let me try and hit it for you guys and you'll see it. So you sprint, you aim in, or you sprint, slide, you aim in, then you hold your slide. So sprint, slide, aim in, hold your slide. And you see how I'm sideways now? So if you go in a direction, you will lay down sideways like that. So sprint, slide, aim in, hold your slide. And now I'm sideways. I'm not front forwards, I'm not backwards, my body is sideways. So there's a bunch of different things you need to master. You just remember, so you sprint, you slide, you aim in, then hold your slide. Sprint, slide, aim in, hold slide. Sprint, slide aim in, hold your slide. And the way your body will move is the way you're going. So the direction you're going is how your body will be laying down. So let me hit it one more time just for good luck. And I do that. And I do that. No, I'm jetting it right there. I'm jetting it right there. That's just too embarrassing.